A Wonder Woman film set in the 80s should be a lot of fun, but is it? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Gal Gadot is back as Diana Prince in the 80s as she battles two foes, Cheetah and Max Lord. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys love to watch movies like I do, you guys are in the right spot. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click that notification for more up-and-coming videos. Wonder Woman 1984 is finally here after having several release dates. It's finally able to stream for only 31 days, though, on HBO Max. This is a film I've been really looking forward to. I really enjoyed the first Wonder Woman film. It's one of the better films from the DCEU, and so I was looking forward to a new time period for Wonder Woman and some new villains. And overall, really disappointed with Wonder Woman 1984. I mean, there is some good moments within here, but the tone and style of this film is very different from that more grounded, realistic Wonder Woman film. The best thing I could say about this movie is that it does feel very campy, and it feels like a comic book movie. It's not gritty or grounded or realistic as that previous film, but it embraces these changes, this era that is in the 80s, and the tone of it feels like it's the 80s. From the costume designs to the dialogue to the setting, all of it feels like something that would come out of the 80s. The big schemes from Max Lord and Cheetah, it all feels like a classic kind of style of comic book movie. I feel a lot of similarities between this and Richard Donner's Superman movie and that kind of campy movie that really embraces that style.
Bad vibrations?
The four main leads in here are really good. We have Chris Pine returning as Steve Trevor. We have Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. We have Kristen Wiig as Barbara. She plays Cheetah. And we also have Pedro Pascal as Max Lord. All of them are good in their own way, and some of them have some pretty good chemistry early on in the movie. This movie's 2 hours and 30 minutes long, so there is a lot of time for development for a lot of these characters. One of the standouts for me was Pedro Pascal as Max Lord. He's having a great year with The Mandalorian. He's also trending on Netflix for We Can Be Heroes, and now he's trending on HBO Max as Max Lord. And his character wants it all. He's vastly different from Diana Prince, where she needs to tell the truth. She believes in being true to yourself, and she's a great superhero. I really love her as a character. And he's the complete opposite. He wants it all. He wants to have these schemes. He wants to lie. He gets what he wants and will manipulate people. Very vastly different characters, and that struggle within here, I think, does work. So he is a character that I really found to be really interesting, and the growth for him and how he connected to the plot and the plot growing overall and him kind of centered around it all. Now, Barbara playing Cheetah, I really liked her, but unfortunately her character kind of dipped down towards the end of the movie. She started off really strong, had some really good chemistry with Gal Gadot, and I really liked their relationship. Barbara wanted to be like Diana Prince, not knowing the fact that she was Wonder Woman, but wanting to have her charisma and her strength and her bravery. She wanted all of that. And eventually she did become Cheetah. I'm not trying to spoil certain plot points in the movie, but what happens to her character takes her down a path that leads her to being the Cheetah, and I think there was no satisfying ending for the character. It kind of just ended her storyline in a route that kind of left me wanting more from Cheetah. Now, they did bring back Steve Trevor, and I thought it was in a way that was way too convenient. That's going to be one of my problems we're going to talk about in a minute, but it was just way too convenient. But I really did like Chris Pine in his role once again. Watching him kind of embrace the 80s and the style and the art, trying to live in this time period, I thought it was a lot of fun. So the leads overall did a really good job. There are a few action scenes, and one of the biggest one comes 1 hour and 22 minutes into the movie, and it's really good. And there's some good action scenes towards the end, but there are few and far between. With a 2.5 hour runtime, I feel like the action scenes are very limited in the movie. It's a lot more of character growth and a lot more of relationships in Max Lord, and it really took away for some of these action pieces. It really could have amplified this movie. Now, my biggest issue with this movie is that it feels way too convenient. This one item that is centered around all these characters leads these characters down the path of being a villain or realizing things about themselves, and all just feels way too convenient. It all just feels way too convenient for some of these characters, from transition from Barbara to Cheetah and Max Lord, wanting it all and bringing back Steve Trevor. This one thing connected everybody, and it was just too convenient and too easy for the characters to come back and grow as well, to where I didn't find it to be impactful to any of the characters or even personal as well. The way that this item is handled in the movie makes it feel like I didn't mind the campiness so much of the movie because of the setting and the tone of it, but how the characters were written and presented in the film and moving throughout the film, it all just felt way too convenient, and I really couldn't latch on to any of it. This was a big disappointment for me compared to the first film. It's vastly different. I have a versus video planned for both of these movies, but I enjoyed the campiness behind it and the setting. I like the 80s style of filmmaking within the movie. There's few action scenes within this movie, and it really drags. The opening sequence goes on forever. Like, it just takes too long to get through. But the convenient storyline and how easy it felt and hollow, I really couldn't get invested with the story. And that was a big disappointment for me. I really liked the first movie and the personal story for Diana Prince. And here it just felt like an adventure she went on, and it wasn't personal for the characters. I wanted much more from this film, kind of a letdown for me. I know a lot of people really liked it, and that's awesome. I think it's going to be one of those superhero movies that's going to be on. I think it's going to be one of those superhero films that's going to be kind of torn between people. Either you like it or you don't like it. Kind of like Iron Man 3 or Batman v Superman. People like it or people don't like it. It's just that simple. I'm going to go ahead and give Wonder Woman 1984 a C+. Thank you guys for checking my review for Wonder Woman 1984. What do you think about it? Expect some more DC videos coming your way in the next couple of days. Hope everybody had a great Christmas, and stick around for more up and coming videos. You guys are the best as always. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.